I think it can speak for everyone. Walking into this episode, we probably assumed it was going to be an amazing episode. We set our expectations for greatness. Yet, within minutes, we already knew those expectations were already surpassed. I mean, White Fox has had a blast with the first part of Season 2, where the opening and ending, they rarely played in terms of just seeing the opening and just seeing the ending. It almost always was the song playing as more dialogue, more characterization, more plot was occurring, so seeing this episode be 28 glorious minutes was no surprise. But the amount of information, the amount of questions they'll bring up, the amount of just characterization and setup. I mean, I've heard so much hype about part 2 of Season 2, which I'm just gonna call it Season 2, we're not gonna do the parts in the titles. But I mean, I've heard so much saying that it's gonna be even better than what came before in part 1, and I mean, to see the first half of Season 2, like, it's hard to imagine that it could get better. Staying the same, sure, but getting better, that's insanity. But honestly, if this episode is a good indicator of how they're going to handle info-heavy episodes, and yeah, we know it's going to get insane. Yeah, we know there's going to be the traditional ReZero insanity. We know that can get crazier. But to me, the thing that defines is it actually going to get better than what came before is how they handle incredibly important scenes, and this episode was one big 28-minute long scene of giving you so much information that requires you to pay very close attention, and even then, you're probably still going to be asking questions, which is why it's such an incredible series. The auto content, I thought, was without a doubt the best way to kick off the episode. I mean, coming right off of that brilliant cliffhanger that was a very inspiring moment, relying on friends, friendship tropes, friendship kind of characters, and that kind of storytelling. You see it so many times in shonen anime, shonen manga, but the way ReZero has handled it, it actually feels like something that needs to be said. Subaru's the type of character who finally started to try to ask for help, to try to do things in a different way, and eventually got to the point of he abandoned his humanity and said, you know what, I can die, I can just reset, and everything's going to be solved. To the point that he's now given up on trying to ask for help, and then here comes the most normal cart driver ever, saying, you didn't ask for my help, dumbass. Where is my, hey, Otto, I have this problem. Just tell me to believe in you and I'll believe in you. It's such an interesting conversation because in any other anime series, you would say, what's so special about it? It's just a normal cart driver saying, believe in your friends, follow the way of power of friendship, you know? It's what you've seen before, but in ReZero's case, watching a character for 38 episodes just get destroyed, not feel like his relationships are meaningful. The one that he's chasing after is getting pushed further and further away from him, to the point that you have someone saying, I am your friend, ask me for help, whether it's big or little, whatever you need me to do, I am here for you. I think it's a great way to really establish just how good this connection is, and hopefully if this does all crash and burn, Subaru will be able to rekindle that and not have that be completely tossed out the window, because I think that might sting the most out of anything we've seen and had to revert back to out of any of the episodes. They just continue to drop so much information, and the idea of, like, our boy going up to Roswell saying, hey, you know what? Let's make a bet. As soon as you hear stuff like that, you know you're in for a greatness for an arc, because this is a guy who's like, I didn't even expect to see you again in this loop here. And he's saying, if I can solve everything, if I can get away with no bloodshed, save the mansion, save Sanctuary, liberate everything, you're gonna come with me and you're gonna put our girl on the throne. I'm sitting back just as dumbfounded as Roswell. Are you kidding me? I'm the one who set up so much stuff, and he's saying, no. As long as I stop anything bad from happening before it happens, you're fine. You can come along. I'm not doing this because I want to shake hands because you're my best friend, but I need you if I want to put her on the throne. And I think that's a great indicator to show how far Subaru's mentality has come, even more so than him just even accepting Otto's help and things like that, and then seeing what he did for him at the end of the episode, confronting our boy saying, you know, I was expecting to do this a little more peaceful, but it looks like he's ready to throw some hands, and I'm like, my boy gonna get a little dirty here? What's going on here? But the Roswell stuff I really enjoy, because I think comparing what we've seen with that dynamic in the first half of Season 2 to now where we're at, while we know nothing good ever lasts forever in this show, it's definitely, I think, the best way to get the viewers re-engaged with ReZero, because if you kick off part 2 of this season and say, hey, he failed again right away, you grow numb almost immediately. And something I've always complimented about ReZero is that it always gives you time to breathe, to recover, before it crushes you and it makes you want to curl up in a ball and die. And that's what was really great with that. And there's all the little build up throughout the episode. The Ram stuff was great. But the thing that really caught me was the Puck situation. And that's so fascinating that I was really confused at first on why Puck was disappearing after being with her for so long. But seeing our boy, one, try to kill her in her sleep really wasn't, but I mean, it's the only way to get this bastard out. But the idea of Puck having to disappear for Amelia's sake so her memories will be unlocked, her admitting that she's been frozen in a forest for years, pretty much all her childhood, it's just everything is now clicking more and more and more while you're still asking more questions. And if you watch the OVAs, you'll get even more clarification and some questions you've had will finally be answered, where ReZero OVAs are actually worth watching. I think it's called like Frozen Bonds is the one, which is amazing. It's so interesting seeing this happen because it's just like, oh my god, things are starting to click more and more, and memory is without a doubt the key. And I love the idea of it feeling like Subaru is perfect here. It feels like if we rewind and not remember all the failures, this feels like a protagonist who has it done. He has a plan, he has an objective, things are moving in a certain way, but if we remember ReZero and what it's able to do, we also know this could easily fail. Garf is still one of the biggest curveballs that we don't know. I did like what he said to one of the clones there, saying like, we're gonna have to fight, but it's still unsure if I'll be able to be friends with him after, giving that bit of optimistic nature, getting even more information with the clones and how four of them pretty much switch around being leader because of just how draining it is. The one who's been a bit of a curveball seemingly was completely ostracized, was removed from play. It's just like watching all that information come crashing down. And this is one of those times where you can really focus in and point to why having those extra 4 minutes may on paper not seem like a big deal. Having 24 minutes for this episode, you would have been so convoluted and rushed. You would either had to remove aspects that made the episode so great, or it would have just felt like there's no way to understand what's happening unless you've read the source material. But by having an extra 4 minutes, all this information, well, yeah, you probably got to rewatch it. You probably do have to rewatch quite a few times to truly grasp everything, especially with context of future episodes and past episodes. It's one of those things that shows you that White Fox truly cares. It's one of those rare adaptations that you really feel like the studio wants to stick by it forever as long as the anime is going to be funded to be made. And it really does show in the quality. I think the conversation that we end with this episode and where it's going to lead next week is going to be incredibly important. There's some great bonding moments with Amelia and Subaru, which I really enjoyed. I'm hoping this will be a good point to really indicate that things are going to get better. I mean, when she woke up and she was bad-mouthing everyone, including Subaru, I was like, oh man, but then again, this could all be part of his plan and he wanted this to happen so she would start remembering things. It's very hard to say what's occurring, but it does also feel like maybe he wanted her to have a break and that's why she was able to run away or something. It's hard to say, but incredible episode to kick back off with ReZero. I'm very excited to see where the second core is going to go for season 2. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, definitely your theories down below. You love it, you hate it, your favorite moment, whatever you feel, of course, let me know. If you enjoyed the video, of course, leave a like, share, your support, and hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.